In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, a massive Japanese fleet is moving through the fog. The year is 1941. The date is December 7th, and 6 enormous aircraft carriers are gliding across the waves. Akagi, Kaga, Soryu, Hiryu, Shokaku, and Zuikaku are all preparing for one of the biggest surprise attacks in history, with hundreds of aircraft on their decks. In total, there are more than 400 warplanes, and every single one is lined up and ready for takeoff. 0 fighter planes, Type 99 dive bombers, and Type 97 torpedo bombers are all starting their engines. The propellers begin to spin, and the deck groans with the sound of metal. The pilots tie hachimaki headbands around their foreheads, shake hands, and look at each other one last time. On the command bridge, the tension is at its absolute peak. Orders are coming through the radios one after another, and everyone is both excited and on high alert at the same time. Admiral Nagumo stands on the bridge, lowers his binoculars, and gives the final order everyone has been waiting for. With that order, the planes launch from the deck one by one, rise into the sky, and begin flying toward Hawaii like a massive swarm. The pilots feel very confident because to them, America is still deep asleep, and this attack plan has been prepared patiently for years. It is supposed to be a perfect surprise strike. Not a single one of them can even imagine that, in just a few moments, they are about to face a completely different reality. As the planes get closer to the island of Oahu, something starts to look strange. When the pilots look down, they do not see what they expected. There are no old-style battleships, no old-fashioned radar towers, and no peaceful harbor scene. Instead, they are facing a totally different world, one they can barely even understand. Massive gray ships are lined up in the harbor, and every single one of them looks like something out of a science fiction movie by 1941 standards. In the middle of it all, there is a true monster, the USS Gerald R. Ford aircraft carrier, almost the size of a small city on its own, with dozens of modern fighter jets parked on its deck in perfect rows. Digital antenna arrays rotate in every direction. Lights they have never seen before blink across the screens, and the hulls of the ships look like they are made from some strange, smooth material, almost like a shadow. For a moment, the Japanese pilots are completely stunned, but there is no turning back. This mission, planned for years, has already begun, and their commanders are not backing down. On the United States side, the year is 2026. In reality, the United States military has known about this attack for hours. Thanks to satellite images and modern radar tracking systems, they have already detected the strange swarm of aircraft appearing in the sky. They can even see the models and numbers of the planes clearly on their screens. On the decks of the ships, soldiers are sipping their coffee, looking at the screens and laughing. To them, the planes coming toward them look like they flew straight out of a museum. Propeller-driven, slow, and completely defenseless. In the command center, one soldier turns to another and tries to understand what these guys are actually trying to do. Then both of them keep laughing. Some soldiers even start placing bets, trying to guess how many minutes it will take for this whole thing to be over. The Japanese Zeros and bombers begin their dive, lock onto their targets, and prepare to open fire. But before they can even get close, the automatic defense systems activate. Phalanx close-range defense cannons start spraying thousands of rounds per second, and the sky suddenly turns into a wall of metal. The planes are torn apart in midair before they can reach their targets. Wreckage falls into the sea, and smoke covers the sky. When Patriot missiles and the Aegis defense system activate, the sky basically turns into a curtain of fire. Missiles launch from every direction and find their targets within seconds. Some Japanese pilots, completely desperate, begin kamikaze dives, trying to crash directly into the ships. But the automatic point defense systems shred them in the air within seconds before they can reach anything. The result is obvious. Not a single American ship even has a scratch. The infrastructure takes zero damage, and the crew is still sipping coffee. After watching this one-sided show for a while, The American commanders feel like they are getting bored of just defending, so they decide to go on the attack. F-35 fighter jets launch one after another from the deck of the USS Gerald R. Ford, and the sky quickly fills with the sound of modern jet engines. These aircraft fly faster than the speed of sound, and for Japanese radar from 1941, they are completely invisible. They glide through the sky like ghosts. At the same time, Virginia-class stealth submarines move silently underwater toward the Japanese fleet, taking position without making a single sound. Modern destroyers lock onto targets from hundreds of kilometers away, and every movement of the Japanese ships is being tracked live on screens. Control now belongs completely to the American side, and the Japanese fleet does not even know it. They still think their own plan is working. The action now reaches its peak. In the middle of the chaos, a specially trained Navy SEAL team slips in unnoticed with a Virginia-class submarine, right underneath the Japanese fleet. The team leaves the submarine, swims silently underwater toward the hull of the Akagi, and while the ship is still under attack, while everyone's attention is on the chaos in the sky, they grab onto the hull and begin climbing up. The moment they reach the deck, a fast and brutal close-range fight begins. The team advances step by step and captures the command bridge. As they move corridor by corridor, they neutralize every resistance they encounter within seconds. The Japanese crew cannot stand against this speed and this equipment. The weapons in their hands look almost like toys compared to the modern gear in front of them. Everything ends in seconds, and the ship is quickly brought completely under control. There are hundreds of Japanese soldiers inside, but they do not even realize yet that they have been taken hostage. Meanwhile, in the sky, the F-35s release their smart bombs one by one onto their targets, and every bomb hits with pinpoint accuracy. Underwater, the submarines launch their heavy torpedoes, and the torpedoes move silently through the water, locking onto their targets. Explosions come one after another. Massive holes open in the hulls of the Kaga and Soryu aircraft carriers. The pressure created by modern torpedoes tears through steel armor built with 1941 technology like paper. The ammunition rooms inside the ships begin exploding in a chain reaction, and fireballs rise hundreds of meters into the sky. The Japanese admirals do not even understand what is happening or what is hitting their ships. There is no sonar signal and no visible enemy ship. An entire Imperial Navy is being sent to the bottom of the ocean within seconds. The remaining aircraft carriers, Hiryu and Zuikaku, experience a full shockwave when they see half the fleet destroyed within seconds. The commanders realize the situation is completely hopeless, that they are facing something almost beyond human power, and they immediately give the order for an emergency retreat. Together with a few remaining escort destroyers, they try to escape at full speed into the open Pacific. But escaping from a 2026 military is completely impossible. High-tech American military drones, which have been silently circling for hours far above the clouds, are transmitting every movement, route, and speed of the fleeing ships to command in real time with thermal cameras. The F-35s fire long-range anti-ship missiles one after another. These smart missiles fly through the air at several times the speed of sound and close in on the fleeing Japanese ships. Officers looking out from the bridge windows of the Hiryu aircraft carrier see small gray dots coming toward them at unbelievable speed, but there is nothing they can do. The missiles hit directly, entering through the ship's funnels and decks. With massive explosions, Hiryu and Zuikaku begin to roll onto their sides. The final cleanup torpedoes launched from the submarines also find their targets, and the last fleets trying to escape sink into the dark depths of the ocean. On the deck of the Akagi, the SEAL team has the situation completely under control. An announcement is made from the command bridge to the entire ship, telling the crew that there is no longer any point in resisting. The hundreds of Japanese soldiers inside, unaware of what has happened outside, only notice that the ship has suddenly gone quiet and the engines have stopped. A short time later, the doors open, the weapons are set aside, and the entire ship is captured without a single shot being fired. On the American side, there is still not a single wounded soldier, and the soldiers on the deck of the USS Gerald R. Ford are laughing as they watch this unbelievable result. This entire massive operation lasts only a few minutes from the moment the Japanese first try to drop a bomb. When the morning light hits Pearl Harbor, there is no sign of destruction anywhere, and not a single American ship has been damaged. The result would probably look something like this. The American soldiers would take the last sip of their coffee like nothing even happened and say, "Well, that was a pretty good workout for the day," then probably go right back to filming TikTok videos on base. For more videos like this, you can click the playlist on the screen. I am sure you are going to love it. So, what did you think of this scenario? Share your ideas for future videos in the comments. Do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you again in the next video.